So today I decided to get back to our projects about using the computer vision to control the Arduino. For example, we can control the eye using my hand, but we can close it and open it. Also, we can control the position of the eye. We can go to the right and left. And let's dive right into it. To create this project, you're gonna need the Arduino, like the Arduino Nano, or you could use the Arduino Uno, even the ESP32, it's gonna work. And you don't have to get the eye. We are using this just for demonstration. You could control a lamp or a light using your hand. For me, I'm gonna control the eye, which means controlling these two servos. We have one servo that controls the ball to rotate it to the right and the left. And the second servo is controlling the lid. We can open it and close it. I'm going to show you the circuit diagram of this project. Each servo motor has 3 wires. The ground that goes to the GND. I highly recommend getting a 5-volt power supply. I'm using this one, which is connected to a charger. The GND to the GND. Also, we have to take another wire and connect the ground of the power supply to the Arduino. Then we can control the servos using the third wire. I'm going to control the first one using the pin number 10, and the second servo is going to be controlled by the pin number 9. I'm going to follow the steps under this blog post. First, you will have to install some software like Python. It's recommended to use 3.11. Next, we have PyCharm, which is the IDE that we use to write our Python code. And you could install it for Windows, macOS, or Linux. For me, I have a Windows machine. Just execute the file and hit install. Also, you're going to need the Arduino IDE just for one upload. We're going to upload a sketch that allows the Arduino to be controlled by Python. Let's start with our first step, which is uploading the standard Fermata sketch using the Arduino IDE. First, make sure to select the right port as well as the board type that you have using this section. For me, it's connected to the COM number 5 and it's an Arduino Nano. Then hit OK. Next, we can go to File, Examples, and under Fermata, we have Standard Fermata. You're gonna find this sketch by default. Then we can hit Upload, and once it's done uploading, we can move on to the PyCharm IDE. Now we don't need the Arduino IDE anymore. Let's open up PyCharm, and we can create a new project by going to File, New Project. You could name it whatever you want. I'm gonna call it Hand-Eye Control. Make sure to select the right Python version. I recommend using the Python 3.11. You could also download other versions from here. Then we can hit Create. By default, we have a main.py file, which we can run using the Run button on top. We have Hi PyCharm. Now, to make sure that we can control the Arduino from the Python code, we are going to use a simple code from the blog post. And here it is. Make sure to copy it and paste it under the main.py file. So this uses the PyFormata library to control the Arduino. Make sure to install it. You could hover over the error and install the package. Yeah, the error is gone. This is used for debugging. First, we are creating the board object, which is an Arduino, and it's connected to the COM number 5. Make sure to select the right one. It could be COM3. Here we are defining an LED pin using getPin. It's a digital pin number 13. We define it as an output pin so that we can turn it on and off. So this is a blink sketch. We can run it using the button. And yeah, it is working. We have this blinking LED. Now that we know that we can communicate with the Arduino using PyFormata, we can move on to our exciting project, which is controlling the eye using our hand. You could even use your eye to control the animatronic eye. To create this project, we are going to use MediaPipe. Basically, it's an open source framework which is developed by Google, which provides you with some powerful machine learning solutions like face detection, hand tracking that we're going to use in this tutorial. Also, we have eye tracking that we can use for this project. And I highly recommend reading the documentation to know more about this MediaPipe framework and how it works. Today we're going to focus on the hand landmark detection using Python. With this new version, we are going to use something that is called task to detect the hand landmarks or any of the other detections like face detection. Let's get back to our main code and install the package that we need. So you could go to the Python packages and search for MediaPipe, and here it is. Make sure to install the latest version. Also, we're going to use the OpenCV package. Search for OpenCV-Python, and here it is. Make sure to install it as well. We're using this package to open the camera and take the pictures. Then we're going to give it to the MediaPipe hand tracking model, which allows us to extract the information about the hand landmarks, which are the different points of the hand and all of the positions of these points. The result is going to be in an array. The thumb has the index 4. We're going to use these under the code, which you could copy from here. Then you can paste it under your project. But don't worry, I'm going to explain all of the parts of the code. On top, we are including the libraries that we need, like the OpenCV library. We use NumPy to calculate the distance. We have the MediaPipe, as well as the MediaPipe tasks. So this is a new way for using the package. In the old version, we only have to import the MediaPipe library. And finally, we need PyFormata so that we can control the Arduino. Next, we have our Arduino configuration, like the COM port. This is the only thing that you need to change under your code. If you have COM3, make sure to put it. For Linux or Mac users, you're gonna find something like this. Next, we are creating our board, which is an Arduino, and defining the pins. The first one is called lead servo. Using board.getPin, this takes in the parameters, like the pin, it is a digital pin, number 9. To control a servo, use the S output. If you want to control a light, you could set it to P for PWM and control it using the distance between the index and the thumb as well. The next code is about the MediaPipe hand tracking model. By the way, I forgot to mention that you have to add a file under your project. So the MediaPipe library needs a hand landmarker task that you need to download from the internet. For hand landmarks, we have this link. Now we need to copy it and put it under the same folder in which we have the main.py file. Let's go ahead and copy and right-click on the project, then paste with the same name, of course. Okay. Now MediaPipe can use the hand tracking model by writing python.base option, like the model asset, which is this file. By using vision.handLandMarker options, we can add other options, including the file, as well as the number of hands. For now, I'm using one hand to be detected. You could also use two. Finally, we need this object, which is called detector. We create it by writing vision.handLandMarker.createFromOptions, and we give it the options that we have set on top. Now we can give this detector an image that we can take from the webcam and extract the information about the hand landmarks that we're going to use for our project. We are using CV2, which is the OpenCV library, .video capture that takes in the camera ID. For me, I have one camera, that's why it has the index 0. And if you are using Windows 11, or if the camera doesn't work, make sure to add the second parameter, cv2.cap dshow. By the way, I have spent one day to figure this out because the camera isn't working for me. For Windows 11, you have to add this option. We can set the width and the height of the frame. Next, we can use this cap object to take the pictures under a while loop. So while the cap is opened, we can take a frame using cap.read and put it under a frame object. Basically, it's an NumPy array that we need to convert later on. If it's done successfully, we can mirror the image just for natural feel. Also, we have to convert the image to RGB because the OpenCV library is using the BGR format. We have to convert it using this line of code. And before we use the detector to get the landmarks from the image, we have to convert it because it's a NumPy array using mp.image that takes in the RGB image on top and load it as an MP image that we can use down here. You simply have to run this code detector.detect that takes in the image. Then it's going to return all of the results, which contains all of the information about the hand landmarks, including the position of the index and the thumb. By default, we are setting the angles to 0. Then we can check if we have a hand. Then we can look through all of the hand landmarks and use the thumb, which has the index 4, and the index, which is number 8 under the object array. Next, we extract the XY coordinates so that we can calculate the distance using NumPy and convert it to be an angle, which is going to be our lead angle, which needs to be between 0 and 90 degrees. And for the second servo movement, I'm using the position of the thumb or the index. I'm going to change it. This is a value between 0 and 1. That's why we have to convert it to an angle. And finally, we can apply it to our servos, which are called lead and ball servos. And the rest of the code is actually displaying a UI bar to see the measured distance. This is actually optional. If nothing is detected, we are going to reset the servo angles and finally show the image frame with all of the information that we have set on top. Finally, we have to find a way to exit out of the loop using the Q key. If it's the case, we break and run these lines of code to release the cap object and exit from the board so that we can use it in another project. I think that's it for this video. Let's go ahead and check it out. Just hit the run button. And there you go, we have all of the hand landmarks and the information that we need. To control the eye, I can close it or open it like this. Also, we can move it to the right and the left. So it's working. And this is just one example of the computer vision project. So I think that's all for this episode. If you have any question or comment, make sure to put it under the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one.